7 terrifying details about the alpha of 28 years later. First things first, here's your spoiler warning. Probably the most intriguing twist in 28 years later is the so-called alpha, who does not infect his victims but kills them through ripping out their skulls and spines. It seems like he can either father babies or has fatherly instincts, and he's also a territorial leader. In fact, there's even evidence that he can control swarms of animals. And in this video, I am going to explore everything there's to explore about this love child between the alpha from Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead and the White Walkers from Game of Thrones. Stuff like, can he reproduce? Why he does not infect others? Is he territorial and will fight other alphas for territory? What's his biology like? What are his intentions? And everything else. So without further ado, let's begin. 1. Why doesn't the alpha infect others? In the film, 2 alphas are shown, and none of them attack to spread the virus or to infect you. They do attack, but it is usually through ripping your skull and spine or by crushing you. For instance, the alpha that Dr. Kelson calls SAMSON kills the Swedish soldier Eric by ripping out his skull. So why does the alpha show this behavior? Well, no one immediately reanimates from those kills, and even if the alpha eats his prey later, they don't get mutated an evolved strain of his virus, which in turn means that he won't have to face competition from a newly created infected alpha. You see, no victims come back to life from an alpha kill. Now that's a pretty smart move, because alphas want to dominate the infected, and maybe they have even developed the notion of territory. Would you like to see an alpha versus alpha battle in the future? Speaking of territory, we must also speak of an heir, which brings me to my next point. 2. Can the alpha reproduce? The film gives no clear answer, but hints that it is possible. Since alphas are basically people with a juiced-up virus, they have normal human body parts and hormones. In fact, most zombies in the movie are naked, and the alpha is quite endowed. Yep, I unfortunately saw it in the movie. The only newborn we see is born to an ordinary infected mother, and that baby is virus-free and is named Isla, after Spikey's mother. There's no scene where an alpha meets anyone intimately, but when the alpha comes across the baby girl's infected and dead mother, he inspects her womb, as if he knew that she was pregnant and was going to give birth. Later on, he trails Spikey and his mother to Dr. Kelson's bone temple, mostly because he wanted the baby back. If he is really the father that spawns mini uninfected alphas, baby Isla will be a key character in the future movies. Oh, and the second part, called 28 Years Later, Bone Temple, has already been filmed and is due for release on January 16, 2026. 3. Is there a connection between swarms of animals and the alphas? I think yes, and there are instances that prove it. The first one is a huge deer stampede that Spikey and his dad see in the open fields, kind of like the herds of dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. Moments later, we see the alpha and the group of zombies he leads attack Spikey and Jamie. The second instance, we see a massive swarm of birds ambush the father and son as they reach their island town while running from the alpha. The third time, we see a colony of rats leaving a train just before the alpha arrives to attack Spikey, his mum, and a soldier. Be it bats, birds, deer, or rats, the connection between groups of animals and the alpha is uncanny. I think he either controls animals or they foretell his arrival. 4. How did the rage virus affect the alpha's muscles and biology? Danny Boyle and writer Alex Garland treated the rage virus that causes these monsters like a weird lab experiment. And even according to the comic book 28 Days Later Aftermath, the rage virus was given its final form in a Cambridge University lab where 2 scientists tweaked the Ebola virus, but the new strain evolved into something entirely different. The rage virus further mutated and became a steroid for a few chosen infected, and the alphas are these chosen ones. This variant is immune to the slings and arrows and is clearly tougher than your run-of-the-mill infected. A rage virus in an alpha literally overclocks the host's muscles and durability. Additionally, this comes with a degree of higher function and they show a semblance of intelligence. 5. How does the alpha behave? The alpha is pretty much a predator with a plan. I mean, it also takes spines and skulls as trophies as the predators. Speaking of which, are you excited about Predator Badlands? But I digress. So unlike ordinary infected who blindly swarm, the alpha leads and coordinates these minions as a part of his horde. These guys also track noise and movement, so when the main characters make a crossbow arrow fly, the alpha zeroes in on the sound. Clearly, the alpha sounds more strategic than savage, and it can quietly flank you or break off if outmatched. In fact, the alpha has intellect and kills with intent, and even picks prime targets who it knows can hurt him or his dominance over the other infected.
6. How do you kill an alpha?
The alphas are also taller than normal infected, with beefy muscles rippling under pale, mottled skin. Its anatomy is essentially a battle tank with bone density and muscle maxed out. Only special weapons like a flaming spear seem to put it down because normal arrows do not do the work. I think the Rage virus heavily improved its biological functions and acted as a super soldier serum of sorts, only without the righteousness of Captain America.
7. What does this alpha want?
What are his intentions? In 2 words, survival and territory. We never see it trying to communicate or herd people for any purpose other than feeding or defending. Its other goal seems to make the survivors extinct. In fact, in the train chase sequence, it stalks the little group of heroes patiently, as if it enjoys the chase. In conclusion, this new virus variant gives an alpha dramatically more strength and resilience than a regular infected. If the virus swapped out mindless rage for muscle growth and a bit of cunning, the alpha is what you get. A supercharged breed of infected born from steroid-like strain. I hope you liked the video. Feel free to point out your thoughts and corrections in the comments, and drop a like and subscribe if you liked the video.